Hello, Facebook. Okay, I'm super excited. I'm going to try to make this as fast as possible within 5 minutes. Um, if you guys are like me, you are probably really tired of everybody telling you what's wrong with the country and nobody actually doing anything to fix it. And we have a lot of people that are complaining about big tech, big tech, big tech, big tech, and there doesn't seem to be anybody who's actually trying to solve the predicament, which we realized after January 6th when Apple and Google took the extraordinary effort to get rid of Parler, the app that is competing with Twitter, straight from its store because they can't control it. And they basically said, we can just tell you that you can't get this app, which is crazy because that is just, think about how much control Apple and Google have when they are telling you that you are not allowed to have an app. Because they don't want conservatives conversing in any social media space that they don't have control over. So obviously I have taken on a lot of battles. The first thing being, obviously, I'm suing the Facebook fact checkers. That lawsuit is still going on. My husband and I got involved with Parler after the fact, after January 6th and the craziness, and said, how can we help? Because we realized that we're losing this country. And the last aspect of this, I basically put out a call and said, who's going to create a phone? You may have seen my tweet. I said Elon Musk needs to create an e-phone. We need to have a different phone that is not controlled by Google and Apple so that we can have apps and we can communicate with one another. And I was contacted by a person named Eric Finman, who I absolutely... I love him. I knew him from years ago. Back when he was like 17 years old, he became a Bitcoin millionaire, super techie, intelligent guy. He said, I'm actually creating a phone. And some other people contacted me and said, I'm creating a phone. And basically everyone sent me their phones. And I am shocked and so excited to show you a phone, a smartphone, not something weird or dinky, that you can get. Hold on, let me put this passcode in so you don't see it. I don't have one of those weird mistakes. That you can actually get a smartphone, look at this, that comes pre-downloaded. It's called the Freedom Phone, okay? And you can literally get this right now. I did it. I've switched away from Apple. Everyone in my family has ordered these phones. We're now getting them. It's called a Freedom Phone, and it comes pre-downloaded. Look at this. If you can see this up close, with Parler as opposed to Twitter. It comes with Rumble as opposed to YouTube. It has OANN. It has Newsmax. I downloaded the Instagram app because I wanted to show you that like you can literally get anything from this store. The store is called, I love this so much by the way, it's called the Patriot Store. Hold on, let me get back to this. The Patriot Store. And you can download any app that you want to download from this store. And this phone is not controlled by Apple or Google. It is controlled by somebody who believes in freedom. And his name is Eric Finman. And basically what he explained to me, so first and foremost, you can literally log on and you can buy this phone. Freedomphone.com. You can get 10% off. I told him that I am going to blare this out. If you use the code Candace, but if the code Candace for 10% off, it only works not if you buy it through the Apple Pay. You have to just, check out and pay on your credit card and you can get 10% off. I told him I'm going to be the person that is blowing this phone up. I want literally every patriot in America to have this phone. Freedomphone.com. Discount code is Candace. You'll get 10% off. You're probably saying, what am I going to do with... how am I going to switch my phone? It's so easy. You pop out your chip of your phone, doesn't matter what phone you have, and you stick it in here. That's it. That is it. So if you have an iPhone, you pop out the chip and you just stick it into here and your phone works. That is it. I'm going to try to answer any questions that you ask me about this. I'm sure you have a ton. How did he create this phone? What is it? This phone is actually an Android, but it is not owned by Google. And that's because apparently when the Android was created, it was created open source. This is a lot of tech language to understand that essentially it was not created exclusively for Google. And actually the Android was initially created for Microsoft is what I was told. And so he basically de-Googled the Android is how Eric Finman did this. Where do all of these, I know this is amazing. It's like, oh my God, this is amazing. You can actually hold a phone that is not controlled. It's a smartphone. I don't know if you want to see more of it. That is not controlled by Apple or Google. And it has a Patriot Store. I love that. A Patriot Store, and you can download any of your apps. You can literally get rid of your Apple phone and your Google phone today. So they can never censor something like they did to Parler ever again. Freedomphone.com, and the discount code is just my name, first name, Candace, and you will get 10% off. It costs $500, which I think is a steal compared to the $1,000 that we keep spending for these iPhones. And the difference is that it's not controlled by the tech lords. So you will be able to get any of these apps, and there's nothing that Google Play or Android can do. Okay, what do we do with Google email? My business is all connected to that. What do you recommend? That obviously, if you needed to download the Gmail, you could actually download that app if you wanted to. But if your business is connected to it, then you'd have to petition your business to stop using it. I don't use Gmail for my businesses, so that would be my answer to that. Could I still use Facebook? Would I have to make a new Facebook page? No, you just download the Facebook app. Look, like this is like, I'm going to show you. Going to this again. You just go to the App Store, the Patriot App Store. How great is that? And you just type in whatever app it is you're looking for. It's going to pop up in a second. Oops, sorry, I think I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry, I accidentally hit an app. See right there? Facebook. You can download the Facebook. If you want to have Facebook, you download it. It's just a smartphone that is not controlled by Apple or Google. It is an Android phone that is not owned by Google. He basically de-Googled the phone. He is selling it Freedom Phone, and you can use the code Candace and get 10% off. Freedomphone.com, code Candace. Freedomphone.com, code Candace at checkout. When you check out, don't use Apple Pay if you want to get 10% off, and you can use code Candace. I'm literally going to blow this phone up because I think it's amazing. I think this is the solution to everything that we have been talking about in terms of how scary it is they can just take an app out in the way that they did. And while I appreciate the fact that obviously there are so many antitrust lawsuits against Apple and Google, in the interim, we also need to have a solution. We need to have a phone. We need to have a way to communicate with each other. As I said, it comes pre-downloaded with Parler, so you can start your Parler account. That's akin to Twitter. My husband and I are involved with Parler. Obviously, he's the CEO of that company. There's Rumble. I know that a lot of you guys, Telegram's on here. Locals, I downloaded Instagram because I'm going to do a live and blow it up on Instagram as well. And Newsmax is on here. OAN is on here. These are all of the apps that would never come on your other phones. We were literally about to get new phones this weekend at T-Mobile. Yes! Order it online. Freedom Phone. It's $499, and you're going to get 10% off when you use the code Candace. Can you purchase overseas in Europe? Yes. Every single phone requires that little chip. I know it's not called a microchip. I know I sound SIM card. It's like, I keep wanting to say microchip. SIM card. You take the SIM card, pop it out, and you stick it in this phone. It does not matter where you are. And by the way, guys, make sure you share this video because it obviously you guys know that my Facebook is under suspension, or I'm in trouble all the time. I'm not allowed to have a reach, even though I have 5 million followers, because I tell the truth too much. But yes, if you're going to get a new phone this weekend, go online and get this Android at freedomphone.com. Again, the person, if you want to look him up, that started this is Eric Finman. He is a patriot, and he is an absolutely brilliant young mind, and he saw this predicament coming and essentially realized that somebody would have to create a phone that wasn't controlled by Apple or Google. He told me that all of the parts, by the way, in case you're wondering, he said he got them from all around the world, and the phone is actually assembled, though, in Hong Kong because it's virtually impossible to get it assembled anywhere else. I don't understand the reasons why, but I wanted to be upfront because I know some people will be like, oh, well, where's this being made? Is it being made in America? No, virtually nothing is made in America. We know that. And businesses are being sent overseas, but all of these parts come from all over the world. So the actual parts of the phone do not come from China, which is amazing. Sounds interesting, but $500. I think that's the cheapest smartphone you're going to buy. So if you're on Facebook right now and you don't have a phone, that's $500 plus. That's impressive to me because iPhones are literally $999. Most people have an Apple phone, and we know how crappy they are. There's been no innovation. They just keep changing the chargers. You're spending so much money just having to update your chargers every year. They're not doing that with this. This is literally, what's that say? Is it 4G or 5G? I won't get rid of my 4G. That's a good question. Can I see that somewhere? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, but I will find out for you, and I'll answer it in the comments after I'm done doing this. You guys that are just jumping on, this is the Freedom Phone. It is no longer, it's a smartphone that is not require you to have an Apple or a Google phone. You can just have the Freedom Phone. It was developed by a patriot who is equally as concerned as I am. I got sent a bunch of phones to try out when I said that we need a phone that's not with Apple or Google. And this one is the winner, created by Eric Finman. Go to freedomphone.com. Use the discount code Candace. I'm going to try to answer some more questions about this phone as soon as possible. One of my questions that I asked him instantly was like, can't AT&T or Verizon control the phone? He said absolutely not. They're not allowed to do that. Unlike all of the other, they're regulated as a utility. They don't have like the Section 230 weird loophole that Facebook and Twitter have. He's like, you can't just say to people that you have to have this particular kind of phone. So that would be completely illegal. Not that illegality has ever stopped the Democrats. But this is a phone. There's nothing they can do about it. You can literally put a SIM card in it, no matter what phone you have, and it will work if you have a smartphone. Now I just need a social media alternative to Facebook. I know, I totally agree. We don't exactly have an alternative to Facebook. Obviously, I'm doing this on Facebook. We do however, have one to Twitter, and that is Parler, which if you had a Google phone right now, you could not download Parler because it kicked them out of the app store because they did not want Trump to go on Parler. So here we are right now, Parler. This is the Parler app that is downloading right now. I mean, that is loading right now. And you can, it again comes preloaded onto the phone, which is amazing. Do you know if they will be able to track our text messages, Candace Owens? I mean, that's a really big question. I don't know. I assume they already can, would be my answer. We've been seeing anything about government spying. I'm assuming they already can track your text messages right now. So, yeah, that seems pretty obvious right now. I think we obviously just saw the whole Tucker Carlson thing. I mean, the NSA has been spying on Americans for a very long time. So that's why I know that's why we use Signal and we use different things. I mean, anything you're sending via iText or anything like that is definitely probably being handed directly to the government. That's an opinion. If you download the Facebook app, then you are still censored on Facebook. It's just the app. This is just the phone, so I don't want people to get confused. This is just a phone, right? So it's not going to change the mechanics of how you use apps. What this is going to allow you to do is to have a phone in which the apps are not controlled by Google and Apple, and they can't censor it. Does that make sense? I know that might be a bit confusing, but you can download Instagram. You cannot download Instagram. You can download Facebook. Give it as your brand new iPhone. But this is a Freedom Phone. FreedomPhone.com. Use a discount code Candace, and you can literally buy a smartphone that is not controlled by Apple or Google. I cannot believe in a product more. I've had it for 2 weeks. I have been trying to see if there's any weird parts. I'm like, can I just download everything? The answer is yes. It is just not controlled by Apple or Google. So there is no App Store. There is no Play Store. It is just called the Patriot App Store, not the Apple App Store, not the Google Play Store, the Patriot App Store. And so you don't have to worry about all of these new companies. When you go, all of these tech companies are just going to get censored by the Apple Store. Well, this is the solution to that. This is a solution. Yes, you can transfer the SIM card directly from Apple or Android that you presently have. If you go to the website, Freedom Phone, I'm answering you, Skylark. If you go to the website, freedomphone.com, you literally get this phone, take your phone, take out the SIM card, transfer it into this phone, and it works. It's that simple. I've done it. I did it, and I am the worst when it comes to tech. I have to admit that. You can literally do that. That's why I'm telling you that. Again, freedomphone.com. Use discount code Candace, and you can have a smartphone that is not controlled by Apple or Google today. Guys, you gotta do it. Honestly, you have to do it. We need to blow this up. I think every single patron needs to get it. So share this video. Tell everybody you got the phone. I'm going to have some of his people, when I say people, I mean Eric Finman. He's the person that was behind this phone, designed this phone, to answer in the comments section. So if you share this and you're like, Candace didn't answer all of my questions, somebody will. So just be in the comments, ask as many questions as you want. Again, this is just a replacement to the smartphone. So this isn't going to be a solution for why Facebook is censoring your messages, but it will be a reason why when real apps pop up like Parler, that are backed by patriots who believe in free speech, they can't get censored out of the store. So I hope I answered. What kind of operating system does it use? Android. Okay. It uses Android, but Android is not actually owned by Google. I answered that a little bit earlier, so you may have hopped on later. Android is actually open source. So unlike the Apple Store, unlike using the iOS, which is actually just made for apples, Android is not just made for apples, just made for Apple. Android is not controlled by Google. So what he basically did was he de-Googled Android and built it into the Freedom Phone. So totally legal. You can own the phone today. Freedomphone.com, discount code Candace. And I want to say something. I have never, think about this, you're going to think about this, you're like, you're absolutely right. I have never, in the history of all of my social media accounts, I have never, ever, ever pushed a product, ever. I don't believe in it. I'm not one of those people that's like, buy tummy tea, it's going to really work for you. Like, I'm all about actually, if I was ever going to bring a product and put my name behind anything, it was because I believed in it and because I believed it was going to be something that we needed for the country. I am fully putting my name behind this, and I am saying to you guys to buy this. The first time ever, I have been with you guys for 4 years. You have never seen me do this. That is how important and relevant that I believe believe it is for us right now to find tech solutions, tech alternatives to the Apple and Google lords. There's been nothing scarier than what they did in terms of trying to consolidate power after January 6th. This is not a game anymore, okay? They do not want us to be able to talk. The Parler story is very scary and very dangerous. What they did to Parler should have sent a chill on everybody's spine. They do not want Trump's voice anywhere, okay? And so what they're going to do is if Trump joins one of these platforms, what are they going to do? They're just going to censor the entire app, right? They're going to say, oh, Trump's on Parler, so app censored. Trump is on Rumble, so app censored. The solution to that is not giving Apple and Google the power. Get the Freedom Phone, freedomphone.com. Use Candace for a discount. When you order it, you'll get 10% off. So, I mean, it's $500, $499. You're going to get 10% off if you use the code name Candace. It can't be cheaper than that. Obviously, this stuff costs a lot of money to put together a smartphone. But I obviously would try to work with them. Maybe there's like specials. I know that it's been a really difficult year for everybody with COVID-19, and just jumping up and buying a new phone is not always easy. But if you're holding an iPhone in your hand, like, you should consider making the switch ASAP, because we do not want to give any more power to them. Again, any more questions, put them in the bottom and put them beneath in the comments, and someone will be back from the actual Freedom Phone team to try to answer all of them. Get the phone, connect, make sure it comes pre-downloaded with Parler, so now you have no excuse not to download the Parler app. All right, guys, I'll see you on the flip side.